back counting double-digit thousand stacks.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Your boy Russ back again, and today we have week 1 of the NFL predictions. So this is a series that me, HoundSyrup, and HayesThe Gamer are all doing, and we're all competing to see who at the end of the season will have the best record. Be sure to go check out their channels, by the way. Both of them will be in the description below. So without further ado, let's start making these picks. So I'm going to do this very simple. I'm just going to go through each game and tell you who I think should win, or who I think will win. So the first game of the NFL season is going to be the Chiefs facing the Patriots in week 1 on Thursday, September 7th. And I'm going to have to go with the Patriots there, man. I mean, it's kind of a given that you would go with the Patriots in this situation, coming off their Super Bowl win with all the key pieces they've added. And it's also in New England, which is a tough place to play. So moving on to the next couple games, which aren't really that interesting, are the Jets and the Bills. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Bills in that one because I think they have Nathan Peterman starting. And honestly, the Jets just look like they're in complete disarray. They're pretty much in rebuilding mode, and I'm going to go ahead and pick the Bills over the Jets. So the next game is the Jaguars playing at the Houston Texans. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Texans in that one. I'm not sure who's starting for the Texans, but whoever is should be enough to beat the Jaguars. So going through the next two games, the Steelers at the Browns. Obviously, I'm going to go with the Steelers here. It's still going to be interesting to see how Deshaun Kaiser plays in his NFL debut, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the Steelers because they're a pretty hot pick to go to the Super Bowl this year. And I kind of agree with it, man. So I think the Steelers are going to knock off the Browns in week 1. I mean, that's probably a given. So the next game is the Arizona Cardinals at the Detroit Lions. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Detroit Lions in this one for the obvious fact that, of course, I'm a huge Seahawks fan, so I want the Cardinals to lose. But on top of that, I think the Lions have a good team, and I think they're overall just a better team than the Cardinals. Next, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Buccaneers in this one. I think they have a good young team, especially with all the additions they've made in Deshaun Jackson and O.J. Howard. I think they can easily knock off the Miami Dolphins. So the next game is the Atlanta Falcons at the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to go ahead and go with the Falcons in this one for the obvious fact that I just think the Falcons are a better team. Next game is the Raiders at the Titans. You guys know I'm on that Raiders bandwagon saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Obviously, they're going to lose to the Seahawks, though. Obviously, the Seahawks are my favorite team, but I really like the Raiders. They're my second favorite team if I had to pick one. Still don't really care how their games turn out, but you know what? If I had to pick between which team is going to win this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Raiders. And I like the Titans, too, with Marcus Mariota, but I think the Raiders are going to take this one, even in Tennessee. But I think there's a possibility for an upset. Next, we have the Ravens at the Bengals. I always love these divisional matchups because they're always toss-ups. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Bengals in this one just because I feel like that their team altogether has more pieces in place than the Ravens. But I know the Ravens are actually, people like the Ravens. They think they could win the division. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the Bengals in this one just because I think, in my personal opinion, that they're the better team and they have their team more filled out than the Ravens do, especially with Flacco being injured. Not sure if he's going to start. If he does, who knows if he'll be 100%. Next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Redskins, and this one is actually pretty interesting. I like the Redskins team. I like Kirk Cousins. I like the Eagles. I like Carson Wentz, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the more experienced quarterback in this one, and I'm going to go with Carson Wentz. Or not Carson, I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins. I'm fucking retarded. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins and the Washington Redskins to win this game. Obviously, Carson Wentz, still in his second year, has some more weapons with Torrey Smith and Alshon Jeffrey, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the Washington Redskins to win this one over the Philadelphia Eagles. Next, you have the Carolina Panthers at the San Francisco 49ers, and though I think that the 49ers could surprise this year having a better record than I think most people will think they will, I think they have a solid team, obviously not even close to where it should be. They are still in rebuilding mode, but they have a lot of young pieces, but I'm still going to go with the Carolina Panthers in this one just because it's the better pick. Next, you have the Giants at the Cowboys, and this one is interesting. This is a toss-up. You never know who's going to win these games. Obviously, the Giants beat the Cowboys last year twice, and they only had 3 total losses. The Cowboys only had 3 total losses, 2 of them to the Giants. So you know what? I'm going to keep rolling with that hand. I'm going to pick the New York Giants. So we also have the Seattle Seahawks, my favorite team, going against the Green Bay Packers, and obviously, guys, you already know. I'm probably going to pick the Seahawks every week, and I'm going to go ahead and go with the Seahawks right here. Seahawks over Green Bay. Come on, Russell. Bring this team to victory. So moving on to the final 2 games of week 1, 2 Monday games, one at 4:10 and one at 7:20. Obviously, I'm Pacific time. So Saints versus Vikings is the first Monday game. And this one, I'm going to go ahead and go with the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, you guys know I am a Drew Brees fan. If you did not know that, well, you know it now. I'm going to go ahead and go with the New Orleans Saints. They are a very interesting team. They've gone like 7-9 the past couple seasons, but they always seem to knock off good teams. And I think the Vikings are one of those teams that could be a surprise playoff contender, but I'm going to go ahead and go with the New Orleans Saints. Now, this last game is interesting. It's going to be the Los Angeles Chargers at the Denver Broncos. Now, the reason I say this is interesting is because these guys have some crazy games, and let's be honest, the AFC West is one of the toughest divisions in the NFL, and it always seems like those teams are fighting over each other, and there's always like a weird outcome in those games. But if I had to go with one team in this one, I like the Denver Broncos just a little bit more. But the Los Angeles Chargers have that veteran leadership in Phillip Rivers, and ultimately, that's going to make me pick the Chargers. I'm picking the upset over the Denver Broncos. I'm not sure if that's actually an upset, but it looks like it to me. I think the Broncos have some turmoil at QB. Phillip Rivers, I think, is going to lead the Chargers to a Week 1 win over the Denver Broncos in Denver. Now, for all I know, I could have got none of these right. I doubt it because I picked the Steelers over the Browns, but still, I mean, I hope that I did well. I hope you guys agree with some of my picks, and if you don't, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section what you guys think and why you disagree with me. I love to hear it. I love to read it, so let me know. But other than that, I did hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, be sure to go check out HoundSyrup and HayesThe Gamer's versions of this video, and as always, Dangerous Army, I'm out.